Hey guys, Surgeon here, and welcome to a new video. So in the past, you may or may not have heard about people having like money-making alts and things like that. And if you're like me, you have a very difficult time paying attention to one account, let alone two accounts. Well, this video is going to be structured mainly towards you people that really can't focus on more than just one thing at a time. We're going to be talking about 5 ways that are very AFK-able and that you can just, tell your character to do something for a minute, come back, check in, do it again, and make a little bit of money. That way you can have a money-making alt that doesn't require a lot of effort. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. It's a little bit different of a video than what I normally do on the channel. So if you do like it, remember to give it a like. If you want to see more content from the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And at the end of the day, if you want to troll me, go into the comment section and do that there, because that's what that's there for. All that being said, let's go make some money and let's not pay attention to our characters at all. So the first one we're going to talk about on this list is smithing Mithril Bolts. Now, there's another smithing method we're going to talk about later on this list that's pretty AFK, but this is for those of you who still want to make some money, but you also kind of want to train up your smithing a little bit on an alt. This is a good way to do it. It's obviously not as fast as doing blast furnace or something like that. But you will end up making around 100k an hour by doing Mithril Bolts. If you can't do Mithril Bolts yet, and you're around the steel level, then you can do steel darts, and that's really or steel dart tips, and that's going to be the one that's going to profit you more money than doing steel bolts. Steel bolts will sell, but they do take a really long time. I did some in the trial run for this, and they took basically till I finished recording every other clip for this video before they finally sold. So if you are going to do steel bolt tips and you want to be or steel dart tips, then you're going to need to have the tourist trap completed, which requires 10 fletching and 20 smithing, as well as the ability to kill a level 47 enemy. Like I said, there's another smithing method you can do later on that's going to make you a lot more money, but it's much slower experience. This, you're getting relatively good experience per hour. I didn't really check the experience per hour that you're getting for this. It's very AFK. You get about a minute or so AFK of your inventory. So on an alt, this is really nice. So you can get some relatively good smithing experience and make a little bit of money on the side. So after doing all this, like I said, you make about 100k an hour or so on average. So if you've got an alt and you really don't want to pay attention to it and you need to get it smithing up so that way you can do, runite or something for whatever reason. Don't know why you would need it. But this is a good way to train your smithing and, train it on an alt and not have to pay attention to it. The next thing on the list is, it's actually kind of a surprising one and most people don't really think about it. And, to be honest, it's very AFK, kind of like the last one. About a minute or so AFK, but it's actually fletching unstrung bows. Now, you can do this as low as Maple Longbows unstrung, and you're going to get about 100k an hour, surprisingly, and that's pretty good for fletching. I mean, it requires 55 fletching, which really doesn't take that long to get. You can get that in probably less than a day. Get up to 55, and then on an alt, just AFK and make your unstrungs, and you can do this with pretty much any unstrung bow in the game. You're going to make about the same profit per hour. And you get relatively decent experience. You can do it with magic logs and you get the same profit. So about a minute or so AFK per inventory. You'll see at the end I buy the logs for 7 GP each, and you sell the bows for a little over 70 GP each. And you can do about 120 or so every 5 minutes. So I multiplied that by 5 and I was able to get my profit being about 100k an hour, which is surprising. Actually very surprising for fletching. But it is what it is. And again, this isn't something that's ideal. Not going to make you a ton of money. But for those of you who are on alts and don't really want to pay attention to them, and you do this for 10 hours, you make a mil. You can easily make a bond in you can easily make a bond in 2 weeks by doing something as simple as this on an alt where you pay attention for maybe a minute. Maybe a minute. Alright, these next 3 are all ones that I've personally done on alts, and I did them for specific reasons. So the first one we're going to talk about is Bowstrings. You've probably all know about Bowstrings before, and it's still good. It's actually very relevant still, considering how low Flax's thinks is Aura, Flax and Nightmare Zone. Flax is 7 GP each, and the Bowstrings are, 100 and something GP each. So every single one of these you make 100 GP. And in about an hour, you can make, what did I make? In 5 minutes, I made 112. So you do 112 times 20. That's over 2K, almost 2.3K bowstrings. That ends up being around 280K an hour. And you need 10 crafting or 5 or 15, or you get my idea. You need very low crafting to do this, and you can make a decent amount of money. It's a very low requirement, which is why I did it. I'm pretty sure on one of my alts I got to 60 crafting just by doing bowstrings. 280k an hour is what you can get up to. That's insane. So those of you who want to just start a low level alt, get a bond on it and do bowstrings for the 2 weeks that you got a bond, you'll probably have enough for like 2 or 3 bonds after you're doing a full week of this. You'll also probably want to kill yourself and never want to do bowstrings again, but you'll have enough money for like 2 or 3 bonds or so. So highly recommend doing bowstrings. It's a very good, very AFKable. Again, everything on this list, pretty much about a minute or so at a minimum. I think these are actually like 50 seconds or so for AFK, but still, 50 seconds, you can easily do something on your main and click back, run up the stairs, grab flax out of your bank, and then just run back to the spinning wheel. Very easy, very simple. All right, next let's talk about the king of AFKable money makers, and that would be Cannonballs. Now, everyone knows about Cannonballs. Yeah. Shut up, Surgeon. We know about it. I'm going to try to keep this brief. So Cannonballs, inventory is going to take you about 2.5 minutes. That is 2.5 minutes of solid AFK that you can be doing on your main, doing whatever. In those 2.5 minutes, you will make a full inventory of Cannonballs, which is 27 steel bars, which is 108 Cannonballs. In about 5 minutes, you can make about 188. Multiply that by 20, you're going to end up making some number, which doesn't really, it's irrelevant. Basically, what you need to know is in about an hour, you can make around 230K with the current prices. And that's, well, that is some solid AFK, like 2.5 minutes. So that would be what? 4 inventories every 10 minutes. So what is that? 24 inventories. Yeah, so you do 24 inventories in 2.5 minutes of AFK each time. That is like super solid, and 230K GP in that hour of not having to focus at all. So Cannonballs are great. They are great AFK. I would highly recommend doing them if you really don't want to focus on your main at all. Now, there's very little to gain from this. The smithing experience is very small, so don't really need to worry about that. But basically, that's it. It's Cannonballs, 230K an hour, very click, not intensive. And the last one on this list is probably the one I actually enjoy the most, and that's making Teletabs. Now, I've been doing this on my alt for like forever. Pretty much as soon as I got level 25 magic, I started doing this because every inventory is about a minute. Basically, all you need to make Teletabs is you don't even need your own house. The minimum skill required is 25 magic, so you can make rock teleport tabs. And then you need 1 soft clay per tab, and then you need a cast of the actual spell. So if you're doing Varrock teleports, you need 1 soft clay, 1 fire rune, 1 law rune, and 3 air runes. Now, if you have a staff, it will actually count for infinite amount of those runes. So, like in the video you're seeing, I'm making teleport to house tabs, which are, in my opinion, or at least usually they are the highest profit teleport tab, or at least the one that's demanded the most, so you can guarantee that you're going to sell them for a relatively competitive price. So you can bring a dust battle staff, which will give you infinite air and earth, which frees up a inventory spot, so you can make more teletabs per inventory. And then all you really need to bring are law runes. Now you'll see what I'm doing is I'm not using my house, I'm actually using someone else's house, and this is debatably faster. I didn't really test it, but the whole idea behind this is to have as minimum skill requirements as possible. So you don't even need a construction level. You can literally just have 25 magic, use someone else's house, and bring all of your soft clay noted with some GP. And then if you run outside the portal in Remington, there's a guy named Files, I believe is his name, and you can pay him 5 GP per item that you unnote, and he'll unnote whatever you give him. So you can use your soft clay on him in notes on Files, and he'll actually unnote it for you, so you never have to bank, you never have to teleport back to a house. You can literally stay in Remington forever and just continuously unnote your soft clay. I've been doing this on my alt since 25 magic, and I think he's up to like around 60 magic or so, and you can expect to make over 300K an hour doing this. You'll see at the end the profit that I make per tab, and each inventory, like I said, is about a minute long, and it's respectable magic experience. Like, again, it's not like plank make or anything, or like string jewelry. It's not that kind of experience, right? But for making money and not having to pay attention to the screen while training magic, like for alts, this is really nice. And it's just kind of, well, I'm doing it so that way I don't have to really focus on my alt while I get them up, so I can get vengeance on them eventually and go PKing and be trash at PKing. But whatever. Teletabs are great. I would highly recommend doing them. 300K an hour for not having to pay attention. I will take that. Sign me up. Side note, if you're ever going to use fire runes or earth runes and you're not going to use a staff, buy lava runes. They're usually cheaper than fire or earth runes, so just buy lava runes instead. Help Automology out and buy some of his lava runes, because he has a ton of those, and I betcha he does. And that's going to do it for this video. So I'm going to put a bow tie on this one. Let's wrap this video up. So If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more from the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to just yell at me or something or whatever, comment section, that's what that's there for. Hopefully this video motivates you guys to figure out a way to make some extra money on the side while you're playing on your main account. That way you don't have to worry about bonds like ever. And hopefully it's a way that you don't have to focus on your account, because God knows I can barely focus on this one. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.